So this is the clip in which Trump and Zelensky, their meeting just completely devolves. So take it away, Trump. Take it away, Trumpkin.
What's your message for them?
Well, if I didn't align myself with both of them, you'd never have a deal. You want me to say really terrible things about Putin and then say, "Hi, Vladimir, how are we doing on the deal?" That doesn't work that way. I'm not aligned with Putin. I'm not aligned with anybody. I'm aligned with the United States of America and for the good of the world. I'm aligned with the world, and I want to get this thing over with. You see the hatred he's got for Putin. It's very tough for me to make a deal with that kind of hate. He's got tremendous hatred, and I understand.
If you're saying that you can't make a deal with somebody because they hate Putin so much, while also saying you don't align with Putin, it sounds like you're aligning with Putin. For just a split second, Trump made a little bit of sense there from a negotiation standpoint strictly. But then everything just devolves. He hates Putin so much. I don't know if I can make a deal with him. You mean the guy that literally attacked his country and is killing hundreds of thousands of Ukrainians? Okay. Like, yeah, I think that he has some justified hate there.
That, but I can tell you the other side isn't exactly in love with, him either. So it's not a question of alignment. I'm aligned with the world. I want to get the thing set. I'm aligned with Europe.
What? I thought you were aligned with the United States of America. Now it's the world.
You want me to be tough? I could be tougher than any human being you've ever seen. I'd be so tough. But you're never going to get a deal that way. So that's
Look out.
the way it goes. One more question.
Hey, I will respond to this. So look, for 4 years in the United States of America, we had a president who stood up at press conferences and talked tough about Vladimir Putin, and then Putin invaded Ukraine and destroyed a significant chunk of the country. The path to peace and the path to prosperity is maybe engaging in diplomacy. We tried the pathway of Joe Biden of thumping our chest and pretending that the President of the United States' words.
What do you mean diplomacy? With a raging authoritarian dictator. Putin he's documented for killing journalists. This is the kind of guy that you want to show diplomacy towards? Whatever happened to the United States of America that used to say we don't negotiate with terrorists? Now you're saying, well, we just play nice with dictators. I also really like that JD Vance just had to insert himself here. He's like, oh, I haven't been in the spotlight for 1 minute and 30 seconds. I got to say something quick. Quick, say something stupid.
Mattered more than the President of the United States' actions. What makes America a good country is America engaging in diplomacy. That's what President Trump is doing.
You're not engaging in diplomacy, though, because you're saying that the other guy who was attacked by Russia, you're saying that that guy hates Vladimir Putin so much that you're not sure you can make a deal. You're not actually demonstrating universal diplomacy by any stretch of the measure.
Can I ask you?
Sure.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay. So he occupied our parts, big parts of Ukraine, part of East and Crimea. So he occupied it on 2014. So during a lot of years, so I'm not speaking about just Biden, but those time was Obama, then President Obama, then President Trump, then President Biden, now the President Trump, and God bless, now President Trump will stop him. But during 2014, nobody stopped him. He just occupied and took. He killed people. You know what the contact
2015.
2014.
2014 and 2014.
2014?
Yeah. So
I was not here.
Were you listening, Trump? Maybe you need to snort another Adderall before going into the next meeting, pal. Zelensky just said Obama was president, then Trump, then Biden, now Trump again. And then Trump's just like, no, it was in 2015. No, it was in 2014, Trump, but okay. And Trump's like, oh, I wasn't here for that. He just tunes it out. If he's not the main focus, he just tunes it out.
Right.
Yes, but during 2014 till 2022, the situation the same. The people have been dying on the contact line. Nobody stopped him. You know that we had conversations with him. a lot of conversation, my bilateral conversation, and we signed with him, me, like a new president. In 2019, I signed with him the deal. I signed with him, Macron and Merkel, we signed ceasefire. Ceasefire. All of them told me that he will never go. We signed him with gas contract. Yes, but after that, he broken this ceasefire. He killed our people and he didn't exchange prisoners. We signed the...
So Zelensky's making a good point here. First of all, good point, chat. They're literally cutting him off and giving him a really hard time, hardly letting him even finish a sentence. English is his third language. So cut the guy some slack there, first of all. Second of all, Zelensky's making a good point here. He's saying there have been multiple different presidents. There have been various different approaches to Vladimir Putin. Once we even had an agreement made because we were being diplomatic. Like what J.D. Vance was just saying. And then Putin violated the ceasefire order and he killed people and occupied Ukrainian territory unprovoked. They already tried the diplomacy route and it didn't work because Vladimir Putin is not diplomatic. You can't be like, we need to be really nice to the person that's never fucking nice. They're just going to walk all over you then.
The exchange of prisoners, but he didn't do it. What kind of diplomacy, JD, you are speaking about? What do you mean?
I'm talking about the kind of diplomacy that's going to end the destruction of your country.
Yes, but if you
Mr.
are not
President,
strong-
Mr. President, with respect, I think it's disrespectful for you to come into the Oval Office and try to litigate this in front of the American media. Right now, you guys are going around and forcing conscripts to the front lines because you have manpower problems.
Wait, what the fuck? J.D. Vance is just all of a sudden jumping on Zelensky. For what? It's disrespectful you would try to litigate this in front of the American media. You're having a meeting and it's being broadcast. How is Zelensky the disrespectful one?
Right now, you guys are going around and forcing conscripts to the front lines because you have manpower problems. You should be thanking the president for trying to bring an end to this conflict.
Have you ever been to Ukraine that you say what problems we have?
I have been to.
Count one.
I've actually watched and seen the stories, and I know what happens is you bring people, you bring them on a propaganda.
Listen, buddy boy. I have been to Ukraine on Google Earth.
Propaganda tour, Mr. President. Do you disagree that you've had problems bringing people into your military? And do you think that it's respectful to come to the Oval Office of the United States of America and attack the administration that is trying to prevent the...
Are you guys this much of sensitive little fucking babies? I think what J.D. Vance really means to say is, how dare you infiltrate mine and Trump's safe space and dare even suggest that us sucking Vladimir Putin's dick isn't a good approach. How dare you? I mean, they literally are so sensitive. They're bitching this guy out because he's saying, we tried the diplomacy route. It didn't work because Vladimir Putin is not diplomatic. You can't have diplomacy with somebody like that.
Destruction of your country.
A lot of questions. Let's start from the beginning.
Sure.
First of all, during the war, everybody has problems. Even you, but you have nice ocean and don't feel now, but you will feel it in the future. God bless.
You don't know that.
God bless.
You don't
God
know
bless.
that.
You will not have a war.
Don't tell us what we're going to feel. We're trying to solve a problem. Don't tell us what we're going to feel.
I'm not telling you.
Because
I'm
you're
not-
What? Don't tell me how I feel. All right, this is the reason I divorced my first wife. I'll divorce you too, Zelensky. This is not what he's saying. He's saying that America's going to feel like the economic impact and the overall impact of the war.
no
Explain on
position
this
to
question.
dictate that.
That's
Remember
exactly what
this.
you're doing.
I'm not
You're in no position to dictate what we're going to feel.
You
We're
will-
going to feel very
you will
good.
feel influenced.
We're going to feel very
I'm
good and
telling
very
you,
strong.
We're going to feel
feel
very good.
influenced.
You're right now-
Orgasmic even, Zelensky.
Not in a very good position. You've allowed
From the
yourself
very-
to be in a
from
very
the
bad
very
position,
beginning
and
of
he
the
happens
war.
to be right about
From the
it.
very beginning of the war.
You're not
Mr.
in a good
Brown,
position.
I
You
was
don't have the
saying-
cards right now. With us, you start having
not playing
cards.
cards.
Right now, you
I'm
don't.
very
Yeah, you're playing
serious,
cards.
Mr. President.
You're
I'm
playing
very
cards.
serious.
You're
I'm
gambling
the
with the
president
lives
in
of
war. You
You
millions
don't
of
have the
people.
cards. Trump this is not a round of solitaire or go fish. Again, see, Trump, it seems as though he cannot separate the politics side of things with the tough businessman side of things. Instead, it just comes off like you're talking about diplomacy, but you do not at all demonstrate diplomacy here. You sound like a whiny bitch baby crying because Zelensky invalidated your fifis.
You're gambling with World War III. You're gambling with World War III. And what you're doing is very disrespectful to the country, this country. That's back to you. Far more
How is he being disrespectful? Literally, what did he actually do? Like, that's how you also know that this is like these people, Trump, JD Vance, the White House. This is how you know that these people are fucking babies. Think back. What actually happened to offend them that we've seen in this clip? Nothing.
Than a lot of people said they should have.
Have you said thank you once this entire meeting? No, in this entire meeting, have you said thank you? You went to Pennsylvania and campaigned for the opposition and offer some words of appreciation for the United States of America and the president who's trying to save your country.
Bow down to us. Did you even kiss our feet once?
Please, you think that if you will speak very loudly about the war, you can...
He's not speaking loudly. He's not speaking loudly. Your country's in big trouble.
Can I
Wait a
answer?
minute. No.
Why is Trump... What? Trump was like ready to attack on the... He's not speaking loudly. Yeah, he was. He was shouting. You could hear his voice echoing through the safe space walls.
Can I
Wait a
answer?
minute. No.
Can
You've
I
done a
answer?
lot of talking. Your country is in big trouble.
I know.
You're not winning.
I know.
You're not winning this. You have a damn
We-
good chance of
we are
coming out
staying,
okay because of us.
Mr. President, we are staying in our country, staying strong from the very beginning of the war. We've been alone, and we are thankful. I said thanks
You haven't
in
been
this
alone.
cabinet.
You
and
haven't
not
been
only
alone.
in this
We
cabinet.
gave you, through
I
this
said thank
stupid
you.
president, $350 billion.
You voted
We gave
for
you
your
military...
Weird. So when he talks about 2014 and when the diplomacy stuff didn't work, what's Trump's response? I wasn't here for that. Don't know, don't care. And now what's Trump doing? He's furious at Zelensky because the previous president gave Zelensky money and military funding and whatnot. Well, Trump, you weren't there for that. So what are you talking about? Just another complete and total fucking inconsistency in Donald Trump's small little brain.
equipment, and
voted
you
for
men
your
are brave, but they had to use our military.
What about
If you didn't have
You
our
invited
military
me-
equipment,
you invited
if
me
you
to
didn't
speak-
have our military equipment, this war would have been over in 2 weeks.
In 3
okay?
days, I heard it from Putin. In 3 days, this is something
Maybe
new.
less.
In 2 weeks, of course he has.
It's going to be a very hard thing to do business like this. I tell you.
Just say thank you.
I said a lot of
accept
times
that there,
thank you
accept
to
that,
American people.
accept that there are disagreements, and let's go litigate those disagreements rather than trying to fight it out in the American media.
What do you mean fight it out in the American media? Vance, you made the fight happen because you didn't like that Trump was talking to another man. You got all fucking jealous and had to pipe up and say something stupid and loud.
People to see what's going on
I
over
understand,
there.
sir.
I think it's
I
very
understand.
important. That's why I kept this going so long. You have to be thankful. You don't have the
I'm
cards.
thankful.
You're buried there. Your people are dying.
tell you
You're
again,
running
I
low
know.
on soldiers.
Don't-
Listen,
What do they actually want from him, though? They've been like harping on about this now for fucking 5 minutes. You should be thankful. Why are you not thankful? Yeah, it was Biden and the other stupid fucking president that gave you all that stuff, but you should be saying thank you to me. Okay, give me credit for previous administrations when they do things good.
Please,
you're running
Mr.
low on
President.
soldiers. It would be a damn good thing.
Mr.
And
President.
then you tell us, I don't want a ceasefire. I don't want a ceasefire. I want to go, and I wanted this. Look, if you could get a ceasefire right now, I tell you, you take it so the bullets stop flying and your men stop getting killed.
Of course, we want to stop the war.
But you're saying you don't want a ceasefire.
But I said to you,
I want a
with
ceasefire.
guarantees.
Because you'll get a ceasefire faster than an agreement.
Ask our people about ceasefire, what they think.
That wasn't
Doesn't
with
matter
me.
for you what-
That
what
wasn't
this
with me.
means. It
That was
wasn't
with
with you.
a guy named Biden, who was not a smart person.
But this
That
is-
was
But yet you want him to thank you for the things that Biden gave him.
That was with
your
Obama.
president. It was your president.
Excuse me, that was with Obama, who gave you sheets, and I gave you javelins.
Yes.
I gave you the javelins to take out all those tanks. Obama gave you sheets. In fact, the statement is, Obama gave sheets and Trump gave javelins.
I thought you were whining about Biden. Now you're whining about Obama?
Because let me tell you, you don't have the cards. With us, you have the cards. But without us, you don't have any cards.
It's funny because a bunch of other nations rallied behind Zelensky and offered to give him the money after this abysmal meeting with Trump. So, turns out Zelensky did have the cards. He said, go fish, and what do you know?
One more question to Mr. Vice President. I'm sorry, here.
It's going to be a tough deal to make. Because the attitudes have to change.
What attitude? The guy's sitting here trying to explain that he has said thank you before. You're the one with the raunchy attitude, and you're projecting it on everybody else.
Ceasefire. What if Russia breaks peace talks? What do you do then? I understand that it's a heated conversation right now.
What are you saying?
She's asking, what if Russia breaks the ceasefire?
What if anything? What if a bomb drops on your head right now? Okay? What if they broke it? I don't know. They broke it with Biden because Biden, they didn't respect him. They didn't respect Obama. They respect me. Let me tell you, Putin went through a hell of a lot
They don't, though. They really don't. So wait, let me get this straight. Trump's argument here is, don't worry about it, okay? Putin may have broken the ceasefire, and he may have a general track record of not ever following through on the ceasefire agreements. But me, Donald J. Trump, I've got the street cred.
with me. He went through a phony witch hunt where they used him and Russia. Russia. You ever hear of that deal? That was a phony Hunter Biden, Joe Biden scam. Hillary Clinton, and he had to go through that. And he did go through it. We didn't end up in a war. And he went through it. He was accused of all that stuff. He had nothing to do with it. It came out of Hunter Biden's bathroom.
This is all a bunch of bullshit. Trump telling us the chain of events genuinely feels like trying to ask Creed from The Office about like his recollection of events. Like Trump is so detached from reality. I'm like, I don't even know what you're yapping about. A bomb falling on a reporter's head randomly or some random thing happening, that's not at all comparable to Vladimir Putin violating a ceasefire agreement, which he's known for doing. Somebody behaving predictably is not at all the same, not at all comparable to some random event happening.
And then they said, oh, the laptop from hell was made by Russia, the 51 agents. The whole thing was a scam, and he had to put up with that. He was being accused of all that stuff.
Oh.
All I can say is this.
Somebody get me the world's smallest violin so I can play a really sad tune for fucking Vladimir Putin. Oh, boo-hoo, he had to be accused.
He wants to make a deal. I don't know if you can make a deal. The problem is, I've empowered you to be a tough guy. And I don't think you'd be a tough guy without the United States. And your people are very brave. But you're either going to make a deal or we're out. And if we're out, you'll fight it out. I don't think it's going to be pretty, but you'll fight it out. But you don't have the cards. But once we sign that deal, you're in a much better position. But you're not acting at all thankful. And that's not a nice thing. I'll be honest, that's not a nice thing. All right, I think we've seen enough. What do you think? Huh? This is going to be great television, I will say that.
Yeah, look at Zelensky. He's like, yep, I hope you enjoy your nice ratings. Meanwhile, the death rate in my country continues to climb because for some reason you are just insistent on giving Vladimir Putin a blowjob in Hunter Biden's bathroom. It's just, I cannot get over the absolute irony of this whole conversation or this whole clip starting off with Trump talking about diplomacy and how maybe being diplomatic towards the vicious authoritarian dictator will actually help. And then all of a sudden he was not at all diplomatic to Zelensky. You're also trying to say you're not taking sides. seems like you're taking sides. As if they didn't disrespect and demean this guy enough, they also went after how he was dressed, even though Elon Musk roams around the Oval Office all the time looking like a drunk Hot Topic employee.
Second
And my
question.
second question for President Zelensky. Why don't you wear a suit? Why don't you wear a suit? You're the highest level in this country's office and you refuse to wear a suit. Just want to see if do you own a suit?
First of all, what a weird question to ask. Of all the things to ask. And I did see this clip already. Zelensky's response is excellent here.
Suit?
Yeah, problems.
A lot of Americans have problems with you not
Really?
respecting
I don't
the
have
dignity of this
such.
office.
I will wear costume after this war will finish.
Okay.
Yes, maybe one.
Maybe something
maybe
like this?
something like
Yes,
yours.
sir.
Yes.
That'd be great.
Maybe something better. I don't know. We will see. Maybe something cheaper than yeah.